Hey y'all, this is part two of taking cuttings from cuttings. I'm going to show y'all what I'm going to do here. Now if y'all have got cuttings that, y'all took in the fall and you don't want to make more cuttings, that's fine. You can just, top all your cuttings and then just, toss them in the garbage. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and make more cuttings. And so I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to do this. I've just got a little skewer. You can use anything you want. A stick or whatever. And I'm just going to make some holes in the dirt. And then I'm going to take... Now y'all don't do what I did. When I propagated some of these, I forgot to put my little name tag in there of what they are. So, I'm going to have to wait for these to bloom before I know what they actually are. But you can see here, these are really leggy. They need to be cut way back. And so, what I'm going to do is basically just come in here and top them. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave a couple of the leaves here. You could go down to the bottom, if closer to the dirt if you wanted to, because it will shoot out new growth. But I'm going to go ahead and leave a couple of the leaves, and I'm going to come down here to about right in here, and you're going to want to cut it right under a leaf node, just like that. And then you're going to come in here, and what I'm going to do is take the top off, because I don't want it to be actively growing here. So I'm going to take the top off just like that and leave these two leaves here, and then I'm going to take all the rest of the leaves off. And I'm going to do this with each one of these petunias. And like I said, I have no idea which kind of petunias these are. These could be Coleus, which is actually what I think they probably are. And then I'm just going to take it. You can leave it this long, or you can cut it right under a leaf node a little shorter if you want to. But I'm just going to stick it all the way down to where pretty much all the leaf nodes are covered, and just leave the two top leaves sticking up out of the dirt, just like that. And now I'm just going to continue on, and you can see this one actually has branching already going on in it. And so what I'm going to do is just take this one back down to about right here. And see that what this is going to do is cause it to branch out more, which is what you want. You want it to branch out more. And I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to take this little top off where it's got the new growth. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this leaf off. You really only need two leaves at the top. I mean, you could leave three if you wanted to, but I usually don't, because the less leaves that you have, the better it is. And so I'm just going to stick this right into the dirt all the way down to just where the two leaves are pretty much sticking up. And this is pretty much what I'm going to do with all the petunias. Like I said, just make sure that you label your petunias. I don't know why I didn't do that. I have a bad habit of doing that. a lot of times I will label them in the little seed trays, and then when I pull them out, if I end up having to pull them out and put them in pots like this, because there's actually multiple ones in this pot. I just went ahead and when I was rooting these, I just stuck multiple cuttings into this one pot, and I've got quite a few pots that I did that with. And so in this, when I get ready to pull these out in the spring to plant them, I'll just pull them out and separate them out from the root section. Just pop them apart. It's real simple. But if you don't want to do that, you can separate them, like just put one to a sale if that's what you want to do. Okay. I got this one tray filled all the way up, and you can see there's a lot in this one. I put like 5 to each sale, which is fine because, it's not, they're really not going to be in here that long, not like these were that were done in the fall. But you can see where I cut these back, and now what's going to happen is these are going to start branching out, which is what I want. And I am going to start fertilizing these with liquid fertilizer because my petunias and, everything has been actively growing. And so now let's do something besides petunias. Although I still got quite a bit more to go of the petunias, I think we're going to tackle the verbena right quick. Look at the roots growing out the bottom of this pot. And these were rooted in the fall. And you can see these are just, cuttings that I had taken in the fall. And now, this is the thing. If y'all will keep them cut back and not neglect them like I did, during the holidays it was so hard to try to, I just basically watered them and left them alone. And you can do that too. And of course now, you can come in and just, if you're not wanting to make more cuttings, just whack them back and you're done, Some of these are starting to branch on the end, and verbena runs. This is the sparkling amethyst. And I could just leave this alone, but I think I'm going to go ahead and cut some of it back because I say that I might need more of these, but I've had this actually seed the last few years, like self-seeding. And so I've really not needed to do this, but okay, like this is a really long one. And you can see there's a leaf node, and the next set is way down here. I'm trying to see if that's showing in the camera. I don't know if it is or not. So I'm going to go under this one up here because I don't need a giant one. You just need a really short one because you're going to do just like you did with the petunias, and you're going to basically bury it to where just the top leaves are sticking up. Just like that. This one, I can make toe cuttings out of this one because I've got my first set of leaves here and my second set here, so I'm going to come out here and go right under this second set. And that's going to be my first cutting. And then I'm going to have this one, which you can see has a little stick up here. You just cut that off. And then you're going to go down here and cut these leaves off. Or pull them off. Whichever one's easier for you. And then you just go right under the set of leaf nodes and cut that off. And that will be my cutting right there. And you just, the same way, bury it to the top of the leaves there. And on the top piece, when you have little bitty growth like that, you want to cut that out. And then you just want to cut off these two leaves right here, which I'm pulling them off. Sometimes it's easier to just pull them off. And then I'm just going to stick it right here. And that's it. And what you'll do with all these is you'll want to water them in good. And you'll want to set them in front of a window that's getting indirect light. Do not put these in front of a sunny window with direct sun. It will burn them up. Okay, that one's cut back as much as I'm going to cut it back. I'm just going to stick it right over here. And this is what I ended up with. Now I'm going to show y'all how to do this. I think is, well, it says it's a sun patient. The New Guinea patients, I think, are in the other room, but these are going to be done exactly the same way. The New Guinea impatiens, basically the double impatiens. Let's see what else. I mean, all the impatiens pretty much work the same. So when I show you this one, and you can see these are starting to branch out some here. It has one there, and it has one here, and here, and here. But I'm going to go ahead and take the top off so it branches out even more. Basically, just take the top off. I'm going to probably come back down to where I've got this branching right here. And I'm going to go right above it, because it's going to branch again right there. And this is what I took off. And then I'm just going to come in here and take the very top off, because that's the new growth, and we don't want that to continue to grow right now. And then you're just going to come in here and take off all these leaves. And I'll show y'all what it looks like when I get it. Okay. Now I want to show y'all. There's 3 leaves here, but I don't need 3. I only need 2. And if you have leaves that are really long, I'll show y'all one in a minute. You're going to want to cut those leaves too. And I could cut this, but I'm going to just leave it, I think. But you can see it's a little bitty short stem. And now that we're past the holidays and everything, I will be able to, keep these cut back, because now it's time to just piddle with plants. Be piddling with them until springtime. I mean, ain't that what we all do when we get spring fever? And so with this one, I'm going to do like I done with the other one. I've got branching here, and I've got branching over here. So I'm going to come down here, And I think I'm going to take it right to the branching on this one. You can see what I've got here. And the easiest way, if you're not used to doing this and ain't never done this, is to start from the bottom, cutting off the leaves. And when you get close to the top, you want to stop, because then you want to figure out, what do I need to cut off and what do I want to leave. Well, I've told y'all to go in and take out the center, because that's your new growth and you don't want that. And then we have this right here. And so we only want to leave like 2 leaves. So I'm going to leave this one and this one. These are smaller leaves. And I'm going to go ahead and take these off. But I do want to show y'all something. Okay, for instance, if you had 2 long leaves like this, what you would, and you didn't have the smaller ones that you could leave, what you would want to do is, with the 2 long leaves like that, you would want to cut those in half. You would want to cut them in half just like that. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt the cutting at all. Because you want to leave it. You cut them in half so that it, puts more growth into the root, making of the roots. If you have bigger leaves. And you also, but it leaves enough by cutting it in half, it leaves enough for it to get what it needs from the sun to develop the roots and stay alive. Anyways, and that's really it. Okay, that one's potted up. And now, I'm going to show y'all. These are the double impatiens that okay. So, I took these cuttings in the first video when I was cutting them back. And for this, you can see these have little buds. You definitely don't want to leave that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the little buds off. Well, went into the dirt. It doesn't matter. Okay. We're going to do pretty much the same thing as we just did with the other ones. You're going to go in and you're going to take off all the leaves. Just like that. And you're going to leave, you're going to leave the two or three of the top leaves that are small once you cut out the center. There's another bud. And I'm just going to leave these 2 really small ones, just like that. And of course you can see this is very long. You don't need it to be nowhere near that long. Just come in, cut right under a leaf node, just like that. And that one's ready to go in your dirt. I will say the double impatiens and the sun patience are 2 of the easiest things to root. I mean, the Coleus is pretty easy too, and I'm going to show y'all that next. Alrighty, that one's done. And there's quite a few in that one. Now I'm going to show y'all what I'm going to do with the Coleus. I might have to adjust the camera. The Coleus is pretty big. Okay. Let's see, maybe y'all can see that. This was a Coleus that I got for $1 at Lowe's on clearance in the fall. And because I never got to plant it, I thought, well, I'll just bring it in and see what happens. I have overwintered Coleus before, so I knew it would, it actually will make a good house plant if you just want to grow it that way. And so what I'm going to do, if you notice, the Coleus stems are a lot like your double impatiens and your sun patience. And so what I'm going to do, this has a lot of new growth on it, is I'm just going to come back here to where there's a few little leaves, and I'm going to cut this off because I'm going to root some of these in water. Now you can root these in dirt or water. It's just up to you, whatever your preference is. I'm just going to take this cutting and I'm going to cut most of the leaves off. I'll leave, I don't know, 2 or 3 at the top. And then I'll just drop this in water. And I'll do that with quite a few of these that are on here. Now like I said, you're going to want to come in here and cut these leaves off, or break them off like I'm doing. And then make sure you don't leave any leaves on the stem you don't want any of those parts that are going to be under the water to have leaves on it, because it'll rot and it'll make the water messy. And so all you're going to do, I'm just going to leave 2. Just going to leave it like that right there. And I'm going to stick it in a glass of water along with quite a few more. And you'll need to change the water once or twice a week. And that's it, really. Once you see roots, you can pot it in the dirt. Or you can just go ahead and pot it in dirt. And, set it just like you would your other cuttings in front of a window and indirect light. And then you will just wait for it to root and wait for it to get springtime so you can plant them. Okay, so I've cut it. See how far I cut that back? It's fine. It's going to bush out now just like the double impatiens and stuff did that I cut back in the fall. Of course, it's not going to take as long for these to grow because, we're heading towards spring instead of ending the season. These will grow much quicker. In a few weeks, this will be really pretty. And I will give y'all updates. Make more plants. If you were looking to make more plants from the cuttings that you took in the fall, this is how you do it. And I hope this helps. Until next time, bye.